Hello, my name is Kathy, and today I'll be discussing how to use homeopathic remedies on ailments, continuing with sexual ailments, starting with the letter A through E. But before I do this, I wanted to let you know that because I have a great many videos now on many different topics, that I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Please refer to my How to Use Homeopathic Remedies video before using the material in this video. I'll be discussing how to use homeopathic remedies on specific ailments, but I've broken these ailments into categories for easier reference. I'll begin with ailments of the mind and emotions, then I'll move on to ailments of the brain and nervous system, then I'll address issues with your skin, nails, hair, eyes, ears, nose, teeth, gums, lungs, respiration, heart, blood circulation, muscles, bones, joints, esophagus, stomach, duodenum, small and large intestine, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, kidney, bladder, then ailments specific to women and specific to men, then issues of hormones and metabolism, and then homeopathic remedies for infections, infestations, the immune system, then issues surrounding fertility, pregnancy, childbirth, postnatal problems, then homeopathic remedies that address special problems in infants, ailments and diseases in childhood, special issues of the elderly, and finally, special issues of the elderly. Constitutional treatment involves treating the totality of the individual person. Everyone is a unique individual with a unique physiology that responds to substances differently. In homeopathy, it's recognized that people will react strongly to certain remedies, and as a result of this, they can be loosely placed into different categories called constitutional types. Homeopaths talk of, for example, phosphoric types. These are people who react strongly to phosphorus, or arsenicum album types, those who react strongly to arsenicum album. The belief is that people of one type share similarities in terms of body shape, character, and personality, and the sorts of diseases from which they suffer. As an example, nature-mere people tend to be pear-shaped, have a dark complexion, be fastidious and rigid in personality, and keep themselves to themselves. They also crave salt and suffer from constipation. As another example, Lycopodium types tend to be tall, ganglion, of a stooped appearance, with an anxious expression and a craving for sweets and a propensity to produce intestinal gas. Now, of course, constitutional types have their limitations. In reality, each person is an individual, and so there are as many constitutional types as there are human beings. An account must be taken of the sum total of the person's inherent predispositions, past illnesses, diet, general reactions to the environment, intellectual and emotional features, and general attitude towards life. This is what is meant by constitutional treatment. I'll be making detailed videos of the various constitutional types after I've completed the use of homeopathic remedies on ailments. The ideas, procedures, and suggestions in this video and all my homeopathic videos are not intended as a substitute for the medical advice of a trained health professional. Consult your physician before adopting the suggestions in this video. If you're pregnant, do not attempt these techniques without the approval of your physician. So, let us continue with learning how homeopathic treatments can help with sexual ailments, starting with the letter A through E. Erection, orgasm, and ejaculation are reflexes, but there is nothing automatic about them. They can be helped or hindered by thoughts and emotions, and they can be helped by trust, relaxation, and fantasy. Guilt, sexual taboos, and fear of inadequacy can hinder them even when all the right sexual stimuli are there, even when all the nerves, blood vessels, glands, and hormones involved in sexual response are perfectly normal. Male orgasm is a more reliable response than female orgasm, at least during intercourse. However, during masturbation, both sexes' capacity for orgasm is about equal. Like every other part of the body, the genitals are susceptible to infection, especially to sexually transmitted infection. There are specific homeopathic remedies for such ailments, but if in these days of global travel and high mobility, the giving of antibiotics for some of these conditions I feel is justified on medical and social grounds. However, a susceptibility to sexually transmitted infections indicates an underlying miasma that constitutional treatment may help to dispel. Anxiety about intercourse. Anxiety about intercourse can be due to a lack of knowledge, fear of AIDS, herpes, and other sexually transmitted diseases, lack of physical affection in childhood, or parental strictures against exploring genitals or masturbating. Escaping into drugs or alcohol generally makes the problem worse. Where anxiety is bound up with general insecurity or difficulty forming intimate relationships, constitutional homeopathic treatment is recommended. In the meantime, the remedies that follow may be helpful. Specific remedies to be taken every 12 hours for up to 5 days. For the man who is torn between an intense desire for sex and fear of sexual failure with a general insecurity, use Lycopodium 30C. For the woman who is very emotional, cries and blushes easily, and hates being in hot, stuffy rooms, use Pulsatilla 30C. For phobias and irrational thoughts and an obsessive fear of catching something, use Argentum Knit 30C. For difficulties caused by grief or disappointment in a previous relationship, use Ignatia 30C. Ejaculation problems. Ejaculation problems are rarely due to any physical disorder, although spinal cord injury, urethral stricture, or surgical removal of the prostate gland or testes may interfere with ejaculatory mechanics. Ejaculation can occur without orgasm, and if the time between one climax and the next is short, orgasm can occur without ejaculation. The capacity for repeated ejaculation decreases rapidly after puberty. Only 5% of 40-year-olds are capable of ejaculating more than once during a lovemaking session. Although ejaculation during wet dreams, is quite normal. There is nothing abnormal about premature ejaculation, climaxing before or as soon as the penis enters the vagina, but it does suggest anxiety, a possible lack of concern for the partner's satisfaction, and perhaps ignorance of female sexual response and or technique for delaying orgasm. If it happens regularly, it can lead to profound sexual dissatisfaction for both partners. Constitutional homeopathic treatment is strongly recommended. In the meantime, the remedies that follow are useful dissolvers of anxiety and tension. Specific remedies to be taken every 12 hours for up to 5 days. For feeling short-tempered and impatient, craving excitement, use of drugs such as cocaine, use Nux 30. Increased desire for sex accompanied by lack of self-confidence and expectation of failure, use Lycopodium 30C. Erection problems. Physical causes of erection problems include injury or surgery to spinal cord or genitals, chronic illnesses such as diabetes, various nerve disorders, many groups of drugs such as tranquilizers, diuretics, and antidepressants, barbiturates, drugs for high blood pressure, stomach ulcers, recreation drugs such as alcohol, marijuana, cocaine, fatigue, and sometimes lack of appropriate stimulation. But in 90% of cases, inability to have or sustain an erection is due to psychological factors. Stress, a state of general mental and emotional turmoil induced by pressures of modern living, or anxiety about intercourse easily inhibit erectile response. Most men have erectile difficulties at some time in their lives, often with women they feel strongly about. But a single failure, even occasional failure, does not spell impotence. However, if fear of failure becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, try the self-help measure and homeopathic remedies that follow. Constitutional homeopathic treatment is strongly recommended where stress and anxiety are the culprits. Specific remedies to be taken every 12 hours for up to 5 days. For a surge of desire with an anticipation of failure and the penis is cold and small, use Lycopodium 30C. For an erection that is not firm enough for penetration and a general weakness, and the penis is cold and small, especially if intercourse has been frequent or if erectile difficulties have come on recently, use Agnus 30C. For erectile problems that follow a bruising injury to the penis, use Arnica 30C. For erectile problems that follow an injury that has bruised the spinal cord, use Hypericum 30C. For an erection that does not last, with a great surge of sexual feelings after a long abstinence, and the legs feel cold and cramped, use Conium 30C. For erectile difficulties associated with dribbles of semen during sleep and an increased desire for sex and erotic fantasies, use Selenium 30C. For an erection that occurs when half asleep but disappears upon waking, even when sexually excited, the penis remains flaccid, use Caladium. Caladium 30C. That's Caladium 30C. I have a great many videos now on many different topics, and so I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Well, that's it for now. To stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this free YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button right below this video. Take care.